Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. And we do have a lot to talk about this morning. A lot of kids headed back to school, some of them for their first day. So let's get right over to meteorologist Scott Gagliardi. A check on that bus stop forecast is in order for us because it's pretty cold out there.
It is. We can use the word cold. I mean, the temperatures are within 3 degrees of the 30s in some towns.
Wow. I was going to say 40s, but I didn't know it was that close to 30 in some
in
places.
Salisbury, 42.
Wow.
So 3 degrees away.
Okay.
39.
You sold me.
I sold you, right? I know. It might have been a shock to the system because yesterday was cooler, but today certainly the coolest day in several months. It's the coolest day since the beginning of June, technically still spring. So we're feeling it out there. Temperature in New Haven, 53. You see the tanker out there way out in the harbor. Wind speeds, though, they're calm. That allowed our temperatures to fall even more than they did last night. Yesterday, we had a bit of a breeze. When you have that breeze lightens up, those temperatures could really fall, and they did. Still seeing lots of 40s out there. Salisbury, you're up to 43, so a little bit better. 51 in our capital city, 43 degrees in Norwich. But even along the immediate shoreline, look at Groton, you're 49 degrees with a water temperature in the 70s. Yeah, that's nearly a 30-degree difference, so it'll feel quite warm if you head to Long Island Sound. Your bus stop forecast, though, those 50s out there right now for lots of us, eventually by lunch and recess, those 70s. Clouds are on the increase, though, later on today. So as much as we have abundant sunshine now, that changes for the drive home. Your temperature trend throughout the next several hours and through the next several days. Notice how we get a little bit better each and every day, back up into those 80s by Monday. We'll detail, though, a shower and possible storm chance along the way. That's coming up in your first alert forecast. Good morning, Kate.
All right, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on your Thursday. Thanks so much for waking up with us if you are just joining us here. Unfortunately, we have one area of construction that did not wrap around 6 or 6:30. Instead, it's now 7:02, and we're starting to see some of those construction cones clear, but that means we're seeing some delays here. This is in Southington. Basically, the entire time that you're traveling here through Southington 84 eastbound towards Hartford here this morning, you're going to be delayed because of that construction that's still taking place there. Live look outside in Hartford, normal delays here on 91 southbound as you're merging onto 84. Looking great here through Meriden along 691, although that is a spot we see some daytime work as well, as is the Route 9 corridor. Live look outside in Middletown. Bright sunshine, sun glare could also be an issue for you here as you're heading out the door. Thankfully, no crashes to tell you about. That's some good news. Here's a look at your drive times. Again, that's all that construction there in Southington 84 eastbound heading in towards the capital city. So just give yourself plenty of extra travel time to get through that. It should clear. I'll let you know as soon as that does. But again, normal delays down through Fairfield County. Another update coming up in just about 15-20 minutes. That's a quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
We're following developing news this morning as people in our state and across the country mourn the children who died in a mass shooting at a Catholic church in Minnesota.
So here's what we know this morning. 2 children were killed, 14 other kids, and 3 adults also hurt. A candlelight vigil and a prayer service held last night for those 2 kids who died and the many victims still suffering today. Nearly 200 people were inside the church when the shooter opened fire. Many were attending their first mass of the new school year.
Well, parents and family members rushed to the scene to make sure their children were okay. Survivors described running to the basement to hide. Others ducked under the pews as some children climbed on top of others to protect them.
My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit. He's really brave, and I hope he's good in the hospital.
Now, police tell us the shooter killed themselves, and they're now searching for a motive. The FBI is investigating the attack as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholic people. A YouTube video showed the alleged shooter stabbing what appeared to be a drawing of the church with a knife. CBS is reporting the shooter's mother previously worked for both the church and the school.
Well, the attack comes as families across our state send their children back to school.
And several districts, including Berlin, Cheshire, and Middletown, are stepping up their security to try to make everyone feel safe. Your reporter Taylor Knight is live in Middletown to explain what students and parents will see there today. Taylor.
We actually just saw 3 police cruisers pull into Middletown High School, and as parents and students arrive here this morning for the first day of school, they say do not be alarmed if you see these extra police officers. The city says that this is just out of an abundance of caution. There are no threats to any Middletown schools at this point. The tragedy in Minneapolis has sparked safety concerns here in Middletown. According to a memo sent to Middletown parents from the mayor and police chief, there will be a visible police presence at all city schools starting today. That will continue tomorrow and into next week as well. The mayor and police chief said that safety is their top priority, and they are doing everything they can to keep students safe, including these extra officers and cruisers at schools. Again, there are no threats to any schools here in Middletown. The police department is using these extra officers as an added safety measure here on the first day of school. Your reporter live in Middletown, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, and as we know, our state has been through this, right? Gun violence targeting innocent children. A mother who lost her daughter in the mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School says the victims face a long road to recovery, and she remembers the moments where she had to fight through similar pain.
Right now, they're numb and they have no idea the journey that they're about to walk, and it's sad and it's dark and it's lonely.
She created an animal sanctuary in her daughter's honor, and she's encouraging the victims' families to look for ways to keep their memories alive. We have much more coverage of the mass shooting in Minnesota on air throughout the day. You can find the latest updates on our website and the WFSB app as we get new information throughout the day.
We're on top of breaking international news from overnight. 15 people have died, 48 more are hurt after Russia launched over 600 missiles and drones at Ukraine's capital city. This is one of the largest attacks since the start of the war. It also marks the first time Russia has attacked Ukraine's capital city since both sides met with President Trump about ending the war.
Well, today people will be coming together to remember the life of a Guilford firefighter who died in a car crash last Friday. A wake for Michael Terrio will be held at the Swan Funeral Home in Madison. You can pay your respects there between 4 and 8 tonight. And then his funeral and burial will take place tomorrow. Firefighters say his dedication to the community will always be remembered.
This morning, the driver accused of hitting and killing a construction worker took a deal and is pleading guilty to manslaughter. Investigators say he sped through a work zone on West Boulevard in Hartford last year, crashing into a 54-year-old worker. The plea deal recommends a 2-year prison sentence. The driver is due back in court in October.
Today in Hartford, the city's mayor will call on the WNBA to keep the Connecticut Sun right here in our state. The team's future remains unclear as Mohegan Sun weighs 2 offers for folks to buy the team. Some want to move the team from Uncasville to Hartford and have them play at People's Bank Arena. The team will play in Uncasville next season. Any sale of it needs to be approved by the WNBA Board of Governors.
Well, today, Senator Richard Blumenthal will call on Congress to pass a bill that he believes will help protect your children online. The bill would strengthen a task force that works with law enforcement to create online safeguards for children. The senator believes this will help prevent kids from being abused or exploited.
Big news for parents here as education leaders will release some new data about test scores and student attendance today. Connecticut Department of Education officials say that our schools are making big improvements in learning and reducing chronic absences, which is defined by kids missing at least 10% of school or a day every 2 weeks.
Well, Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority. Right now, students and parents in dozens of school districts across the state are arriving at school for the first day of the new year. New Haven, Old Saybrook, Bristol, and Wethersfield are just a few of the districts starting classes today.
It's also the first day of school in Norwich.
Most students will be dropped off by their parents or by the school bus, but some of the youngest students will have the chance to make a special entrance.
Your reporter Roger Suzanne in live there in Norwich to explain. Roger, I mean, a big entrance is kind of an understatement here.
Yes, and I am extremely jealous of these kindergarten students here in Norwich who are going to make this entrance. Now, look, most of us, we arrive in regular cars like the Channel 3 vehicle here, although at least ours has giant 3s on it. However, the kids in Norwich, well, we're jealous of them because take a look at what they will be arriving in today. Yes, one of these absolutely awesome Norwich fire trucks. You can see some of the firefighters are here getting ready for this big day. This is a partnership and a bit of a tradition here in Norwich that they always take a select few kindergartners to all of the different elementary schools. That's been going on for at least about 15 years, according to the battalion chief, and possibly longer, as long as he's been here. And he says it is a way to get everybody fired up. And again, we cannot wait to bring you this story later today, as again, several Norwich kindergartners will arrive to the first day of school in style in a Norwich fire truck. Reporting live in the Rose City here in Norwich, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, in Channel 3 Eyewitness News. I'll send it back to you.
All right, we might see Raj in one of those trucks.